Hi folks, I'm Gene McLoughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. On this program, the mayor has an opportunity to talk to you about things taking place in the township and to introduce you to people making things happen in the township. Today, I'm pleased to welcome our guest, our Grand Marshal of the Old Bridge Memorial Day Parade, Armando Sasso. Armando, welcome. Glad to have you with us today.
Pleasure.
And Mayor, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Gene. Always good to be seen, as you say.
That's right, as you say, huh? Mayor, what's new? We usually have a couple of topics we talk about.
We don't have enough time to go over what's going on in Old Bridge, Gene, so I'll try to read and digest it.
Want to hit some hot spots? You want to hit?
Well, it's springtime. We're coming into a lot of projects going on. The Control Farm. We have another phase happening outside. Mm-hmm. If you go by there, you'll see they're working in the back. We're getting the bathrooms installed on the outside. The amenities that it takes to open it to the public.
Okay,
so that's getting done now as we speak.
Can we get over there with the camera one of these days?
Absolutely. Yep, when it gets a little closer, maybe a little safer, and we see some progress. They're doing a lot of work under the ground right now, but that's going along fine. The golf course is getting very close. Yeah. We're looking for maybe July 4th-ish to open the driving range, miniature golf. But really? All the grass has been laid, 18 holes. I think they've been cut once already. They're doing the cart paths now. The clubhouse is being constructed. It's really a beautiful site when you go by it now. A lot of landscaping. Everything is green as you go by the golf course. So there's a lot happening with that. We're very excited about that. And also, we just started a huge project at Mamino Park.
Yeah, what's going on?
The finishing up of the baseball wheel, as we used to call it. Oh, yeah. 3 fields are being installed.
Really? Where are they going to be? In the back?
Yes. Yep. There are 2 that are in there now, face the south or east, whatever it is. And now the other 3 are going around the back. So it'll be a big circle of baseball fields of all different sizes, all different shapes, all different uses. But these are going to be predominantly artificial turf, so they're going to be able to use them year-round.
That'll be great. Take away from Dyke Park a little bit too, huh?
What's that?
The Dyke Park situation will be...
Yes, we have a big demand for fields.
Yeah.
Big demand, and we just can't keep up with the demand. Really? So we've invested millions of dollars into our parks.
Really?
We're very proud of Mamino Park now being built, and it's still, we have a lot to do. The pickleball courts are installed. I was going to say pickleball. We're working on lighting them now. There's been a big demand for nighttime pickleball.
Really? How many did you put in?
5. There's 5 courts.
That's fantastic. That's nice.
Yeah. And with the spring coming, all the sport leagues are running, and I'm busy on the weekends getting out there and watching all our kids have a great time and grow up in a great town. The same opportunity I have, Gene. So it means a lot to me as the mayor to see these youngsters have fields and the ability, and the leagues. Most of these leagues are volunteers.
Yes, sir.
They run them. So we're very fortunate here in Old Bridge. And kudos to Matt and Lisa, who go out there and manage these parks. And as we put more fields in play, they're going to have more of a job.
Yeah, more work.
More work.
More work. Okay.
But that's okay. I think they love it too.
I think so too. Mayor, as I said earlier, we're pleased to welcome our guest today.
It's an honor to sit right next to this
Grand Marshal of the Memorial Day Parade, Armando Sasso. Armando, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about you now that we've talked about the rest of the township.
Okay.
Talk about you. Tell us a little bit about your background, would you? Where were you born, and how was your childhood? Jersey City.
1923.
1923. Let me see on my fingers. We have to get that up.
From the first grade on, I was on radio station WHOM.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That's wild. And what were you doing on WHOM?
I sang.
You were singing.
And the mayor would take a group of 4 or 5 people, ballet dancer, tap dancer, a violin player, a singer, and I was a singer, and he would take us a home of multimillionaires, and we would perform.
That wasn't too bad. And you had such a big voice, I understand.
I
they didn't need a microphone, huh?
And I sang in the parks. Then there was no microphones in the parks. It's before you guys were born.
Before we were born. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to really feel it. Okay. Okay, and Armando, you also played a lot of instruments, right? And you started playing as a young man.
Yeah.
As a young man, you started playing.
Everything, not only that, I draw and paint, Everything came easy to me.
You're a versatile man.
It was like it was born into me.
I guess it was. How about the athletic part of it, too? You were also a bodybuilder?
I was a bodybuilder, yeah. I had barbells at home,
You're still doing bodybuilding?
Yeah, I still work out.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Squats and stuff like that, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Push-ups.
Okay, and how about the handball? I used to love handball.
Well, I was a handball champ,
Yeah.
but in the Army I lost to the champion who beat me because he was older. I was, what, 19
Yes.
years of age. He was in the 30s, so he had a lot more experience.
But it
I
was
was
still-
just coming up as a handball player.
Yeah, it was
But
still-
anyway, I got that far up, so I'm written up. I have the Army Journal where I'm written up.
That's not too bad, Mayor.
No,
Bodybuilding.
Gene, I've known Armando now
musician.
for 12 years now, and he's been an inspiration.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anyone of his caliber. I've never met an individual
Well, I can
so
do just
talented.
about everything.
Does everything, and
I know.
what he does it good.
I know. Well, I first met Armando probably over 30 years ago when I was a parishioner at St. Ambrose. And he was the choir master and the man in charge at St. Ambrose. So I've known
you know his talents,
Armando a long time. Certainly
along with
do.
the service to our country.
Yes, and that was the important thing. We were talking about one other thing with your talent, your musical talent, Armando. We were talking off the air. And that was you were one of a couple 100,000 students who got a scholarship, a 10-year scholarship to go to Metropolitan Opera.
I studied there
How'd that
until I
happen?
graduated. When I graduated, of course, I was drafted in the Second World War. That was the end of that.
Yeah, that's too bad. But then when you went into the Army, you said that you went to Fort Breckenridge in Virginia.
Yes,
And what did you do there when you were in the Army?
I was a chaplain's assistant,
Ah,
and the chaplain would say Mass outdoors.
okay.
And I had a portable organ
An altar?
that I would pump, and then I would play the organ
Really?
and sing the Mass.
And what about those hikes? Did you like those hikes? When doing the long
Yeah,
hikes?
we were on a 25-mile march, and the last 5 miles, the captain ordered me to sing because the soldiers were falling by the wayside. They couldn't go on anymore. He said, Armando, sing. They got to make it. They got to make it. So the last 5 miles, I would sing. And no
So
microphones.
This is a talent now.
It's
Mayor, I'll
unbelievable.
tell you.
It's just,
Singing through the Army and getting people to march.
and with the Army, you said you were a chaplain. When you're in the Army, everybody has faith because you never know.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of praying going on.
Yeah, a
So-
lot.
So you played a key role. in a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
I had a
those soldiers.
portable organ.
Yeah.
There was no wider than that, which was smaller than that, actually. And I would play the organ on the grass and sing the Mass.
was
It was
a-
Latin then.
Latin, okay.
It wasn't English like it is now.
Yeah, that's right. I remember the Latin Mass very well. I took a lot of Latin in school.
And when I came out, I've sung in temples in Hebrew
Were you
during the
really?
holy days.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then what happened with Japan? You went to Japan, you were settled or reassigned to Japan?
I went to Japan, and I was one of the part of the army that was there, when
Yeah.
they gave up.
And what was your function there? You were still doing chaplain work
I was
there?
still, yeah.
And what about the
We also, the chaplain said Mass outdoors many times, right on the grass.
mhm.
I have pictures at home of me kneeling on the grass.
Oh, do
and
you
the
really?
chaplain, yeah.
Wow, that must be quite reminiscent. Armando, one thing we didn't talk about was you were medic when you were in the service.
Frontline medic.
A frontline medic. That was both in in Virginia and when you went to Japan.
Yeah, I went to Japan.
What was it like treating all these wounded guys coming through?
Well, I was in charge of a field hospital,
Wow.
and there were tents,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and there were like 12 cots on that side, 12 cots on this side. I would be in charge of the whole tent.
Wow. Mayor, what do you think of that?
Just,
How would you like to be in charge of a tent like that with wounded people?
I was a bodybuilder, so they put me there because they felt I knew about the body, and it would be easy for them to teach me how to care.
But some of the wounds must have been pretty tough to treat, no?
Mostly from shells,
Wow.
explosive shells.
Were they treated there and then sent someplace else
Yeah, they were.
to recover?
I gave them the first aid treatment
Yes,
so
sir.
that they could be transported to a field hospital.
Okay. And they're still doing that, I guess, in the
Yeah.
battlefield, aren't they? They're taking guys.
Still
Yeah, they have the
the
triage
procedure,
units
yeah.
and they get them out.
Triaging, get them out.
Yeah, and they've come a long way with medical in the military now. They get these young men and women immediate. They're
and they get them out quick, and they get them to
out
Germany,
quick,
to
yeah.
Landstuhl in Germany, to the hospital, and this type
Did a
of
lot
thing,
of
right?
morphine.
Yeah, good. You've had some experience there,
Yeah.
Armando, I'll tell you. You have really lived.
You know, we have the term the greatest generation.
Yes.
And we're sitting right next to it right here.
That's a good point. You are part of the greatest generation.
Yeah, and to be, you know, a lot of times we read about the greatest generation. We see pictures of the greatest generation, but we have the honor of sitting next to them, being able to touch the greatest generation.
Not many left alive.
There's not many World War II veterans or.
No.
Whew.
Well, I tell you
Few.
one place to go. World War II Museum is in New Orleans. And my wife and I have been there, and it's a magnificent place. It's broken into two parts, the war in Europe and the war in Japan. And they have World War II veterans minding the desks. They have airplanes hanging from the ceiling, planes over the B-29s hanging from the ceiling. If you ever get a chance to get to New Orleans, it's too bad it's in New Orleans because it's hidden there. You don't get to see it. It should be in Washington or Philadelphia or in New York. Magnificent. We were there for an hour, and I kept my wife there 6 hours. It was showing the whole thing.
I've heard similar
Oh,
stories.
it's a great place.
It's outstanding.
Armando, I'm going to ask you to hold your thoughts for a minute. We're going to take a break right now, okay? And we'll be back to pick up with more of your adventures.
All
okay?
right.
Thank
You're
you.
going to serve whiskey?
Well, that's coming right now. Lisa's going to get
I
that
don't
for
drink.
us. Folks, stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. We're talking with Armando Sasso, who is the Grand Marshal of a Memorial Day Parade, which will be held this year on May 29th. Stay with us, and we'll be back.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it. He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hi folks, welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today our guest is our Grand Marshal from the Memorial Day Parade, Armando Sasso. We're talking with him about his extensive background in music and other adventures he's had. And we're going to pick up right now the next stage of your life, Armando. I think when you got back from the war, you went to the College of Music?
I did. I went to New York College of Music.
And what happened there? You learned to play all the instruments?
Well, they put me in the third year.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
And Armando, where did you pick up this tremendous talent to play all the instruments?
It was born in. I had to search to bring it out.
Yeah.
But it was born in.
And you were doing, even then you were doing shows and you were doing radio and...
Yep. I remember in Jersey City, there was a theater, Majestic Theater, and after school, I would go there and sing, and I would come home with first prize, a bicycle, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, and even then, when you were at the College of Music, you started to branch out a bit to teach lessons and private lessons and official. Then you went to St. Ambrose Parish here in Old Bridge, and you were the choir director and the organist?
I was, yeah.
And how long was that? When it was 1993 you went there? And how long were you there? And what were you doing there? I remember you were there. I was a parishioner at that time, and I remember seeing you there.
I would say, what, 3 years? Something like that, 3 years.
And you were then doing also private lessons?
Private lessons, yeah.
And a lot of more instrument music with all the music you did. And then I want to talk about something I think that particularly a fond memory, if I may. You ended up getting married when you were in St. Parish, right? St. Ambrose? You ended up getting married. You didn't remember that, huh? Okay, you married Denise, right?
Luckiest man in the world.
To marry Denise.
She is one marvelous wife. First, a marvelous person, and because she's marvelous, she could be a marvelous wife, and that's what she is.
And that's been what, about 27 years, huh? 27 years you've been married? That's okay.
Seems short.
It all seems short, I think, Armando. Armando.
She's such a pleasure, that's why.
Well, as I asked you before, I asked you for some fondest memories. This has got to certainly be one of them, huh? The fondest memory, getting married to Denise.
Yes.
And what are you doing now? You're still doing what now? You're still active?
Private lessons. I draw and paint.
Okay.
I draw every day.
What kind of painting are you doing?
Realistic.
Realistic?
Oil.
Oil paintings. Did you self-taught or did you?
Self-taught.
Really?
Although I did go to art school, and they would have a famous artist come once in a while, and he'd look over your stuff and say, "Oh, this has got to be darker," and then he'd walk on. Never really taught. I would, if I were a teacher, I would start right from the very beginning.
Right.
Not he just walked through. It was a walk through.
Mayor, I don't know if you've ever had any experience or any lessons in art or
I was a paint-by-number guy.
You were paint-by-number.
Or a roller. I mean, to paint the house, my
number.
father made me paint. But as far as painting pictures, no, never had that talent. But it is great to see somebody with that talent, to take a blank sheet and create.
I built my deck. I did carpentry.
Armando, as I said before, you've lived a tremendously rich life. Do you have any other fond memories?
Do I what?
Do you have any other fond memories that I could bring up?
Everything I did was kind of a fond memory. I remember at Christmas time years ago, out of wood, I did a horse and wagon, and I displayed it on the lawn during Christmas time. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about being named Grand Marshal of the parade?
Well, I think it's a great honor. I'm surprised that I was chosen, but it's a great honor, and
Well,
I
with
think
a
it's
man
wonderful.
with your background, I think it's a natural to have you picked as someone with that experience and that background, don't you, Mayor?
You know what, Armando, I said, he was always recognized for his artistic abilities and his talents. And you always kept the war part of it, like you never really wanted to talk about it.
Oh.
So we knew he served, but I think he's more known for his talents and what he's done for the public and over at our Silver Lining Center. He is he's the lead singer, he's the lead pool player, he's the lead artist.
He could play every instrument.
He's
not many people could do that.
Right.
No, I'm sure there aren't.
So, you know, for the military
Plus
service.
drawing and painting.
Yes.
I do.
So that's what I'm saying. He's known for that more than his military service. But this Monday, we're going to recognize him for his military service and the great individual that he is, and he continues to be.
That's fantastic, Mayor. I'm glad to see that. That is wonderful. Armando, one last question, if I may. In a couple of months, you're going to be turning 100 years old.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like 69.
69, okay.
No, I don't have any decrepit physical illnesses, you know, that keep me from moving, walking, doing what I want to do.
So being 100 years old is, you know, okay.
It's just
Having
another
reached
number
that
to
milestone, tremendous milestone.
Maybe to other people, but to me it's just kind of a normal thing.
Okay, Mayor, I don't know if you have
I
anything
can't.
else to add.
I don't know. No, it's just it's a blessing to be here.
It's unusual, I guess, for you to hear that, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay, well, Armando.
Not only that, I worked out all my life. I exercised. I didn't abuse my body. I'm not a drinker. Never smoked.
Okay.
Preparing for this show, I was telling people I'm going to be on with Armando, who's 100, and everybody asks the same question: what's the secret?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
What's the secret?
What is the secret?
What's the secret?
Well, I also did self-hypnosis.
Did you really?
Just before, while I'm in bed, just before going to sleep, and my post-hypnotic suggestions were health and long life. Maybe that helped out.
Fantastic idea.
It's a great answer.
It's a great answer. It really is.
I still do self-hypnosis at night.
Well, that's
Auto
okay.
suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm relaxing. My feet are relaxing. My knees are relaxing. My stomach. And then I give myself post-hypnotic suggestions.
That is a fantastic.
That's
really,
the secret.
Maybe
really a great secret, Armando.
people would laugh at that. That's why I don't mention it.
That's okay.
But I know you would laugh.
Gonna start a new trend.
Evaluated.
Armando, I want to thank you for being here today.
My pleasure.
It looks great
Absolutely
seeing you
my
again.
pleasure.
It's been a number of years since I did see you. Thank God that you're still going strong.
Interview me in 10 years, will you?
We'll interview you in 10 years. We'll be back in 10 years. And folks, as you can hear, we're talking about Armando Sasso. He'll be 100 years old in a couple of months. A long life, well-lived, filled with fond memories. And don't forget, you'll see Armando at the Memorial Day Parade, May 29th. And be sure to come out. You'll see Armando in action. And Armando, again, thank you.
My pleasure.
And folks, don't forget, come out and enjoy the parade. It's a great weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy the start of the summer here in Old Bridge. This has been Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. I'm Gene McLoughlin. Take care.